Hey, what's up guys? So welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some new Yu-Gi-Oh cards to check out, but some of these won't actually be coming out until 2020. We've got a lot of stuff to cover over here in this video. But anyways, I just wanted to check out this article real quick because it does mention some of the cool stuff. So obviously we already know about the new AIs at Ignister cards, and also there's a bunch of other cyber stuff, but there's also newer rituals that are going to be coming out. And what's even cooler is there's going to be a new theme based on pirates and their ships, so that's going to be very cool as well. And they mentioned some of the stuff Gladiator Beast, but for the most part we're here to check out the new cards, so let's go ahead and hop into it. But I just wanted to mention that pirates will be coming, because I know that that was one archetype that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh fans did want to see, a pirate as an archetype. I guess the fur hires were kind of one in a sense, but for the most part we're getting actual pirates now. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. So first off, there are some new rarity leaks, and I will go over those. These are just like the pictures for more confirmation, but I'm just going to go ahead and sum it up really fast in another post over here, but it's just showing off some of the newer cards as far as their artwork goes and rarity. But let's go ahead and hop right into it. So the first card that we're going to be checking out is Monster Express. This is for, I would say mostly Infinitrax. But anyways, Monster Express is a level 4 Earth Machine effect monster with 1500 attack and 1200 defense points. And it actually says, as the effect, you get to target one face-up you control. I think it's supposed to be a monster. So one monster from your extra to the graveyard with the same original type as that face-up monster, but for the rest of the turn you can't switch to monsters except for monsters with the same original type as the monster into the graveyard by this effect. You can only use this effect of Monster Express once per turn, so that is that card over there. Next up though, we have the Prime Mineral Man Strong, which is a level 8 Earth Rock effect monster with 2000 attack and 3000 defense points. It says you can set this card from your hand to your spell and trap zone as a spell. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed by an opponent's card effect this turn while it was set on your field, you could special summon this card. Then you could add one monster from your graveyard to your hand except for itself. You can only use this effect of it once per turn. So this card effect would be so cool if it was being able to be destroyed by any card effect. The fact that it has to be your opponent's makes it so much more difficult to potentially pull off. But if it does go successfully off, it does happen to have 3000 defense points. But like Silver Sentinel, I don't think that most people will be even interested in trying it, unless of course you are running cards that force your opponent to actually pop it, like the Artifact or any of these other cards that make your opponent do a certain thing. Also, going back to this card, if there's any cheesy combos, it's definitely going to be with this card. We'll have to wait and see what people come up with, but you'd also have to control that other monster. If it was just send one, right? Like Gale Dogra, then this card would be absolutely amazing. But I don't know if people are going to splash this on everything, but again, for Infinitrax or anything that can make use of it, it might not be too bad. Next up, we have a newer synchro card called Desert Locust over here. So it's got 1500 attack, 2400 defense points. It is a level 6 Earth insect synchro, and it's a tuner. And its materials are 1 tuner plus 1+ non-tuner monsters. And it says, if this card is synchro summoned, this turn player discards 1 card. You can only use this effect of Desert Locust once per turn. Then once per chain, during your opponent's main phase, you can, as a quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. Okay, so it's basically like a formula. That's kind of cool. It just happens to be level 6. It doesn't really have, like, I mean, this is potentially interesting. Could have some plays with other plays with, let's say, like Fable, though Fable doesn't see too much play, Dark World, or just anything that could just make use of just having another card in the graveyard and you can utilize some type of extra effect. Interesting, and I'm waiting to see what people can come up with this. Next up, we have Tyrant Farm. This is a normal spell card that says tribute 1 effect monster to special 1 non-effect monster with the same original type and attribute from your graveyard. You can only activate 1 Tyrant Farm per turn. I wonder if this is supposed to be somehow related to the Geminis, because it does require you to tribute an effect monster. If it was a non-effect monster from the deck, we were looking at a lot more potential. But again, I think it's supposed to be for Gigaplant, and then you resummon it, and then you can bring back something else, and then you contribute it. That's kind of an interesting card. I'm waiting to see if, again, someone has a crazy combo or idea with this. Definitely let me know in the comment section below. But next up, we have the Brutal Beast Battle. This is a normal trap card that says, if a player controls 2 or more monsters of the same type, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds, or Link, they must send some to the graveyard so they control no monster, then 1 monster of that card type. Then each player that sent a monster to the graveyard for this effect draws cards equal to the number of different card types, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds, or Link they control. You can only activate 1 of them per turn. So I guess like you can basically draw potentially off of this, but honestly, are you going to have that many other cards just so you can go through them, I don't think it's really worth it. I think there's like, no more entry. There's like so many other, or there can only be one. There's like so many more like better floodgates than this. I just feel like this card probably won't see some play, but I mean, if there is some utility, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Next up, though, we have new Dream Mirror support. This is one of the TCG exclusive archetypes that really never got enough cards to actually make it. So basically, for those guys that probably didn't see them, which is probably a lot of you guys, because again, no one's really playing them. Basically, there are like light and dark versions of them. There's like a duality. It's like the mirror version of the card. I think it's a really cool concept. But anyways, the first card is Phantasos, the Dream Mirror Friend. And he's gonna go ahead and like turn dark or something like that. Anyways, it's level 4 Light Beast Warrior, 900 attack, 1900 defense, and all the stats are basically swapped when they go ahead and like have the mirror version. So if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, you can target level 8 or lower Dream Mirror monster in graveyard except for itself, and then special summon it in defense position. During the main or battle phase, if Dream Mirror of Terror is in a field zone, as a quick effect, you contribute this card to special summon one Phantasos, the Dream Mirror foe, from your deck. You can only use each effect of it once per turn. Okay, so basically this is going to be the dark version of this card. So this is the Dream Mirror foe, and it's a level 4 dark Beast Warrior effect monster with 900 attack and 1900 defense. Wait, what? Oh, you know what? They didn't swap. Okay, because usually it's always the opposite, and then I read this and I'm like, wait, that's the same stats. They actually made a small little error. It's supposed to have 1900 attack and 900 defense. Like I said, they're all swapped. Anyways, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, it can attack directly this turn. During the main or battle phase, if a Dream Mirror of Joy is in a field zone, as a quick effect, you contribute this card to special summon the opposite version of it, which is the Friend from your deck. You can only use each effect of it once per turn. Okay, mediocre-ish effect right there. Oh, are we finally getting a Dream Mirror boss monster? Dude, the artwork on this card, we gotta zoom up on this. I know that some people would really like it. I don't know about the face over here. I mean, it might be the quality. It looks like it's a little bit derpy. But anyways, Oneros, the Dream Mirror Erlking. So it's a level 10 Light Fairy Fusion effect monster with 3000. Its materials are 2 Dream Mirror monsters with different attributes. While face up on the field, this card is also a dark attribute. You can only use each effect of the following effects of itself once per turn. So it says if another monster you control is tributed except for damage step, you can target one card in the field and destroy it. If this card is in its owner's possession, is destroyed by an opponent's cards, you can special summon one Dream Mirror monster from your graveyard except for itself. Okay. Interesting. Next up, we have the Dream Mirror Phantasms as a continuous spell card. It says when this card is activated, you get to add one Dream Mirror monster from your deck to your hand, and if Dream Mirror of Joy is in a field zone, all monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. If Dream Mirror of Terror is in a field zone, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. You can only activate one of them per turn. So it starts with that one, and you get a small little stat boost or a minus boost on your opponent's side of the board. And then we have Dream Mirror of Chaos. So it's a quick play spell card that says fusion, summon one Dream Mirror. Oh, and it's a quick play. That's so good. Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion material. If Dream Mirror of Joy is in a field zone, you can also use monsters in your hand as fusion material. If Dream Mirror of Terror is in a field zone, you can banish monsters from your graveyard as fusion material. You only activate one Dream Mirror of Chaos per turn. Okay, so you can basically go for fusions anywhere. Unfortunately, it doesn't utilize your opponent's stuff because that's what we would really want. But because Super Poly is at multiple, I mean, maybe people will definitely make great use of that, especially the mirror match, no pun intended. But nonetheless, that's kind of cool. All right, next up we have the Dream Mirror Hypnagogia. So it's a normal trap card that says choose one Dream Mirror of Joy and one Dream Mirror of Terror from your hand or deck and place one in your field zone and the other in your opponent's field zone, face up. You can only activate one Dream of Hypnagogia per turn. That's actually really good. So basically at this point you can basically have double field spells. That's so cool. That is huge. Dang, that is... That way you get like both of the effects, as they both have different effects obviously, and they're kind of a deck that I would say really benefits off of the field spell. Anyways, next up we have the Dream Mirror Oneiromancy. This is a counter trap card. It says activate one of these effects. When your opponent activates a spell or trap on a Dream Mirror of Joy is in a field zone, negate the activation and if you do, destroy the card. Then when your opponent would special summon monsters while Dream Mirror of Terror is in a field zone, negate that summon. If you do, destroy that monster. You can only activate one Dream Mirror of Oneiromancy per turn. That's actually crazy, because basically this becomes you get to negate anything, especially if you happen to have both of them on the board. And then next up we have the Overburst Dragon, which is a Link 2 Dark Dragon Link Effect monster with 1800 attack, and its materials are 2 rocket monsters. And it says you can target one other Link monster you control, special summon one rocket monster from your hand to your zone that this target points to, but this monster summoned by this effect cannot be used as Link material. Also destroyed during the end phase. You can only use this effect of Overburst Dragon once per turn. Unless card is destroyed by battles into the graveyard, you can just target a rocket monster in the graveyard and add it back to your hand. Next up we have Action Magic Full Turn, and I guess we can read it from here. It says, this turn double any battle damage that a player takes from battles involving 2 monsters. During your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, except for the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can discard 1 spell card to set this card. Okay, and then we have Action, I don't know if this is showing off the rarity here, but anyways, Action Magic Double Banking lets you discard a card this turn. If the monster you control destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it can make a second attack on a row during main phase if this card is in your graveyard, except for the turn it was sent to the graveyard, you can discard a spell and then set this card. And then we have Astral Ghouls over here, so it's a new zombie. Okay, dang, there's so many new cards in this vid, man. Astral Ghouls is level 5 Earth zombie effect monster with 0 attack and 2000 defense points, and it says, when this card is normal summon, you get to target 1 level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon in defense position, but its effects are negated. Also banish it during the end phase. Once per turn, you can roll a 6-sided dice and the face-up monster you control become the level equal to the result until the end of the turn. It's a little bit of RNG there, that's for sure. And then next up we have Bye Bye Damage, which is a normal trap card. It says, during damage calculation, if your monster is attacked, your battling monster cannot be destroyed by that battle. Also, if you take battle damage from that battle, your opponent monster takes effect damage equal to double that amount. You can only apply this effect of Bye Bye Damage once per turn. I'm sure someone will figure out some way to like cheese and just one shot. It'll be interesting. Maybe like a creature swap or something like that. But Dances with Beasts is a new normal trap card that says, when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, while the combined attack of all face-up monsters they control is 8,000 or higher, you can just special summon 3 monsters with different names. In attack position, 1 each from your hand, deck, and graveyard. You can only activate 1 Dances with Beasts per turn. Okay, this card was actually previously in the OCG and it was announced, and I did remember covering this card, but I guess this is more just showing off that we're finally getting it here in the TCG for some of these cards, and this is just some of the names of the other cards and the numbers. But over here, actually more importantly, Masquerena is finally coming out in the TCG, which is actually a really cool card, and its name is IP Masquerena. This is the card that everyone thought was the new FA card, but or people also was thinking it was the Ultimate Athletes UA. But anyways, this is a card. As a quick effect, you get to immediately after this effect, link summon a link monster using monsters materials you control. It's really cool. And then also a link monster used by this card as material cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So it's basically kind of like a formula, but for like links. I like it. It's a really cool card. And then also for some of the rarities over here, in case any of you guys do want some of the rarities for some of these newer cards coming out. For the secret rares, we have Martin says Blue Tang. We have Unchained Soul of Disaster, Starlage Separate, Firewall Dark Fluid Dragon, Salamagreat Pyro Phoenix, Unchained Soul of Rage, Unchained Soul of Anguish, Abomination's Prison, and then for the ultra rares, this is what we got. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it up on here just in case anyone wants to see. Yo, the Glad Beast, man. I was really excited about these. And then here are some of the super rares and rares. I think pretty much people just want the secret rare, so I did basically go over that. But again, if you guys do want to read anything, just go ahead and pause it over there. Then we got some more new cards. We have a newer hand trap that debuts in, I guess, Ignition Assault, which again, we were not going to be getting until 2020. But this card actually looks pretty cool. So, Sokyo Kyokyu no Hakaishin is a Dark Fiend effect with 3,000 attack and 1,500 defense points, and it says you can only special summon one of them once per turn. If a card you control is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can just special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you get to discard 1 card and destroy 1 card in the field. Then, during the end phase, if this card was in the graveyard because it was destroyed and sent there from the field this turn, you just special summon this card from the graveyard, but place it on the bottom of the deck if it leaves the field. So, I almost want to say this is like a way better version of Gorz. So, Gorz, this was the only like hand trap that really is the most like relatable to it, because it prevents OTKs at the end of the day. So you lose a monster, you summon this, you're able to pop a monster, it's got 3,000 attack, and it's going to be coming back essentially the same turn that it gets summoned. So there's a lot of potential with this card. I think this card is really, really good. But if you compare it to what you actually need to win a game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I don't know if this is going to be something people are going to be playing. Let me know if you guys would actually play this hand trap, because again, I think its effect is absolutely amazing, but technically, like, if your opponent is not getting rid of your stuff, you're not going to be able to utilize this card at all. And a lot of decks orient themselves around just going for first turn plays, but now maybe you're going to be able to deal with those boards a little bit better, because if they negate, maybe destroy your card, you're able to go, okay, well, I'm going to summon this, I'm going to go ahead and pop your card, and if you destroy this card, it's coming back. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if there is any potential with this. And I guess technically if you want to run GB Hunter, instead of it going back to the deck, you can make it just go to the graveyard and then make it come back. Huh. I don't know. Maybe someone will think of some cheese with it, but for the most part, I just don't like it. Like I said, it is an amazing effect, but I just don't see people playing it. But I would like to know what you guys think about this card. And then also we have Witchcrafter Genie over here, which is a newer card for the Witchcraft, which I think a lot of people really liked. I mean, heck, I love the artwork for them. I mean, she's looking very good, but I don't know if Witchcrafters are going to be good. Maybe with this card. All right, so Witchcrafter Genie is a level 1 spellcaster. Effect monster with 300 and 500 on the stats. It says you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. So during the main phase, as a quick effect, you can attribute this card and discard a spell card to special summon one Witchcrafter monster from your deck, except for itself. Wow, amazing effect. Then as the second effect, you can banish this card and add one Witchcrafter spell from your spell card from your graveyard. This effect becomes the same as the effect of that spell card when it's activated. Okay, this could definitely help out, but again, I just think that when you compare it to some of the other stuff, I just don't think it's going to be that strong. But nonetheless, those are the new cards, guys, and there still is a whole archetype, but I got to cover that in another video because, well, I don't want to make this video like an hour long, because we have the whole new ritual archetype that doesn't even use rituals. It's going to be wild. So if you guys want to see that and you're new to the channel here, I'm going to upload it like literally like right now. I just got to go ahead and finish it off. But if it's your first time here and you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on that bell, and you'll see that video very soon. But yeah, I'm curious to see what is that new ritual archetype going to be doing in 2020. And if you guys want to send me any replays, you can get a shout out and a feature on the channel of any of the newer stuff, and definitely know what let me know what you think of any of these new cards down in the comment section below. But thanks for watching, guys. Send in to replays, like I said, if you guys would like to be featured on the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. I'm signing out. Peace.